As consumers, we're faced with ever more choice. The challenge for businesses is how to navigate this complexity. Hi, I'm Oli Freestone, and today we'll be talking about consumer decision making and choice. Historically, we've been conditioned to believe that more choice is a good thing. More products, more varieties, more options, more customization. For example, if you think about the average large supermarket like a Tesco's, it stocks somewhere over 40,000 products. Every hour, there are 12 new books added to Amazon. And if you've ever tried to select an investment fund for a pension, you'll know how complex that decision is. But is more choice really a good thing for us? It turns out, in fact, it could be the opposite. This is what psychologist Barry Schwartz has come to term the paradox of choice. And what in fact is happening is that our brain is becoming overloaded by the amount of decisions we're asking it to make, and essentially it gets jammed up. This phenomenon was highlighted by researchers in Columbia University who conducted an experiment in California. And the way they conducted the experiment was they took a well-known grocer and they laid out 24 different varieties of jam for one scenario and 6 varieties of jam for another. And consumers passed the displays, and what they found was on the display with the 24 different varieties, more consumers would come up and have a look at the different choices, but there was less propensity to buy those jams. When they reduced the amount of choices, they found that less consumers came to look at the range on display, but actually there was a higher propensity to buy those jams. So in fact, consumers were 10 times more likely to buy from the 6 jam display than from the 24 jam display. So for businesses, the problem of too much choice can lead to unwanted outcomes, such as abandoned shopping carts, dissatisfied customers, and ultimately lost revenue. So what can businesses do? We believe that there are 4 strategies businesses can use to address the problem or the paradox of too much choice. And we categorise these as 4 C's. The first, cut. Less can be more. If businesses look to edit down the number of options that consumers have, that can help their decision making. A good example of this is the department store retailer John Lewis. And what John Lewis does really well is it takes a range and edits it down for us and helps us make a decision. So for example, if you're looking at a car seat for a baby, it'll give you options around the baby weight or the appropriateness of the car seat for a baby's weight. If you're looking for a vacuum cleaner, it'll give you options around bag size. The next C is consequences. And what's really important here is that businesses spell out in a very concrete way what the outcome of making a decision is for us. So if I choose financial product A, there's a very defined outcome for that choice. The next C is categories, and our brains are conditioned to think in terms of buckets of information. So for example, if we're thinking about clothes we might buy, we might separate those down into categories such as formal wear, workwear, and sportswear. And then the final C, conditioning. This is about conditioning for complexity. So undoubtedly, some of the decisions we're going to make are going to be complex. So we need to build up to that level of greater complexity by thinking about what the simpler choice is first. So for example, if I'm buying a new car, I might want to think about something simple like, is it an automatic or a manual? And then I might want to think about the number of seats I want, and then potentially move on to the number of colours. And in this way, we build up those layers of complexity. So businesses can help us to make decisions by employing 4 strategies. Cut down the number of options. Help us understand the consequences of our decisions. Help us to categorise our decisions into buckets. And also condition us for complexity by starting simply and then building up. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. I'm Oli Freestone, and I'll see you next time.